Hey Sagittarius, it is February 6th. This is your weekly reading, and I just did the collective energy reading, which will be applicable to you as well. And I'm using 4 different decks today: the Light Seers, the Universal Weight. I've said this 10 times already. The Universal Weight, my runes, the Power Animal Oracle, and the Spirit Oracle. And in the description box, there is a link to the monthly Astro Tarot deep dive that I do with Millie. It's about 90 minutes. It's a monthly podcast that we do. And there's also a link to Patreon if you feel like buying me a coffee. If you like these readings, please like, share, and subscribe. Ooh, let's see what's happening here. Very interesting. Okay, so you've got something that you're walking away from, and this is an energy for the collective as well, that just because we put a lot of energy and effort into something over time, there's got to be a point where you know if it's worthwhile to keep going. And you're walking away from something, but you're walking towards this, let's get that sun on the horizon over there. And then you're using your intellect about it in a practical sense, in a logical sense, in gaining information sense, looking at things purely from an analytical perspective. And I think in this particular case, that's a good thing, because staying in something just because of some emotional reason is not, it's just not always the best way. And so just as a, the polarity of this is that you've got that on one side, and it is a general theme for everybody in the collective, in that we've been going through this process all this time of purging and cleansing and clearing and crying and developing, and we get to a point where we know that we just can't tolerate certain things anymore. And when that comes from this intellectual space, it is so much more clear and profound when it happens. So it's not this like, oh, I'm just not gonna, whatever, that's emotional. But when it comes from that other space of like, I know that when I do this and this and this and this happens, and that result is not what I want any longer. And so that's the intellect of really understanding that. And because you understand that, what ends up happening is this really fiery, positive, this is very much Sagittarius energy, this spontaneous, full of life, inspiration, having fun kind of vibe. And with that, there is wish fulfillment. Really good stuff is coming your way, and it's coming, for a lot of people right now, because we've all been sort of collectively unburdened. And so you are escaping that drudgery, and you're moving into this place, and it's kind of a watery place. This is more the Piscean energy. So as we get to the end of the month, I would think, once we move into Pisces, like around the 19th and 20th, the rest of the month and into March, you will feel that you've sort of miraculously sailed out of the dark zone, the danger zone, the stormy waters, the rough patches, whatever those are, whether it's love, work, finances, relationships, internal, psychological, emotional conflict, whatever it is. Okay. And then you have this angel energy, which is really good. This is temperance, patience. And it doesn't feel like, in this case, that Knight of Wands is usually the fastest moving knight in the tarot. It doesn't feel forceful or rushed. It does feel balanced and patient. It's more like that exuberance coming from within. It's not, it doesn't have that feeling of blindly rushing forward. Switching decks. Let's see. Everybody's been getting this pretty much, the Six of Cups. We are still in that shadow period of Venus retrograde. We're still in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde. They both have gone direct, but the lingering feelings of things coming back from the past, or that nostalgic feeling, or being revisited by past behaviors and patterns or traumas or issues or lessons, is still very strong for most people. I think almost every single sign I've read so far, and you're the 11th one, has gotten the Six of Cups. So there's also the Chariot. There's divine timing involved here. And you have the Knight of Wands at the bottom of the deck too. So there is that rushing forward, that need to rush forward, that you feel there's maybe a need to rush forward. You are dying to, just jump out of the gate there. I say that, but it's your natural state is to do that. And so it is there a little bit. It's almost like you can't wait for the time when you can jump out of the gate again. But I think at this moment, you do understand that you can't do that. And yet it's not a restriction. It felt like a restriction before. Okay. So you've got, there could be, if you are looking for love or romance, that is opening up. You do have the Ace of Cups. If you're in an existing relationship, there could be this renewed feeling. But there's also, watch for areas where, so you've got the Three of Pentacles and the Four. The Four is where you hold on to things. It's kind of miserly. It can be with money. It can be with love. It can be with communication. It can be with all sorts of things where you hold on to something too tightly for fear that you will lose it if you let go of it. There's also this wrapping up of old stuff and also teamwork. So this gives you just a little bit of time, and we've got the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom. So the stuff is within your grasp. It feels like you need to do a little, I was going to say juggling. That's not the right word. Rearranging, a little rearranging of your priorities, your habits and patterns. Take stock, take inventory. Unhitch yourself from these past anchors, these old stories, so that you can see that Ace of Cups coming to you, that new heart-focused opportunity, love, renewed love, self-love, love with a partner, a new partner, whatever it is. So there's some deep emotional residue things that are there that need to be dealt with this month. You do have all this power behind you. This is the wild ox. It's shown up for a lot of people. Whoops. This is the mouth, nourishment, communication. I was just going to say, nobody got those two, either Hagel or Isa, and you got Hagel. So there's a delay here. This is hail. It's like, do not pass go. You need to address something before you continue. You're the only sign that got that in the whole reading. There's a little bit of a different vibe for you. Sagittarius. Ask for what you want, the Lion. Courage. Ask for what you want. Sagittarius, you don't seem to be the type that would not ask for what you want. So what is that that you are not asking for? I'm getting your last card, which is the Spirit Oracle. Wow. Silver vibrations. Silver vibrations. Silver vibrations. This is a long one. So it says, your vibration is being raised to a higher level. You may be feeling that you are in this world, but somehow not of this world. This is the magic of creation at work in your life. As silver starlight enters your aura, your energy field will become finer, giving you a stronger connection to your spirit and bringing greater purpose to your life. Okay, so that one is very different also than everybody else's card that showed up. It was longer, much longer. Okay. Well, Sagittarius, I hope that was somehow helpful for you. If you can find that little missing link, it seems like everything sort of catapults you forward, and then you're operating in that very Sagittarius way, full of fire and spontaneity.